I'm joined by Alexa Ferris. She is a former scholarship recipient for the Children of Fallen Patriots. And again, I had chosen the USS Yorktown to do this interview because it felt like a natural progression of my motorcycle journey, and also kind of capping off my fundraising for the Children of Fallen Patriots, because the USS Yorktown actually stopped at Saipan in World War II. So I had a chance to visit Patriot Point a number of years ago. And Alexa, I think you had a chance to visit here before, and we'll get into that a little bit about in a little bit. But tell us a little bit about your involvement with the Children of Fallen Patriots, and why you like of course, Patriots Point yourself.
Yeah, for sure. Like Domingo said, I have been here before, but it was this past winter when we got this fluke snowstorm, and first time it snowed here in 6 years. It was completely ice, so only the inside was open at the time, but still super cool, and I'm glad to be back here.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Children of Fallen Patriots gives college scholarships and educational counseling to children who lost a parent in the line of duty. These students do qualify for VA benefits, whether it be FRI or DEA, but there is about an average of a $25,000 gap between what the VA pays and what college actually costs.
Mm-hmm.
So here at Fallen Patriots, we like to step in and help cover that gap. It comes out to $6,250 for 4 years, and it resonates with me because I'm actually a former scholarship recipient myself.
Yeah. Now, with people that have talked to me as I was doing the fundraising, some were challenging me, well, the VA takes care of a lot of it. So why do you think there's that disconnect with what some of the general public view is what the DoD VA cover for families after a family member has passed away?
Yeah, so depending on how the service member passed and the date in which they passed, mm-hmm. determines what benefits they're eligible for. So like I said, there's 2 types of benefits our students can have, FRI or DEA. FRI does cover tuition. It doesn't always cover all of it. Like a private school sometimes is a little bit more expensive, mm-hmm. so we step in there. They do get a stipend for books, and then they also get a monthly stipend. Mm-hmm. Our students who get DEA benefits only get a monthly stipend. They don't get help with books, and they don't have tuition assistance either. Okay. So that's where we step in for them. I think people forget how expensive college really is and how many little hidden fees they are. Yeah. At Fallen Patriots, we help with the books for students who don't get support for them, tuition, living expenses. We make sure they get a computer stipend, so that way they can get a good laptop to last and not a cheap one. Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. I mean, that's a lot that I think a lot of people don't, like you said, kind of take for granted.
Yeah, for sure.
So with your story, how did you come about knowing, of course, about the foundation? Obviously, your father had died, but tell us a little bit about kind of your own personal journey with the foundation.
Yeah, so personally, I don't think I knew of Fallen Patriots before they reached out. I think when my dad passed away, my mom kind of signed us up, and we weren't of college age yet, so it kind of just got thrown to the back. Okay. My dad passed away when I was a sophomore in high school, so I wasn't quite ready. Yeah. And then about 2 years later, Fallen Patriots reached out when I was a senior in high school, and they said they wanted to cover the cost of my college that the VA didn't cover, which truly sounded too good to be true, but that's exactly what they did. They started that year. They helped with my SAT fees and all my college application fees. A lot of people don't realize that those can go from $100 to $150 mm-hmm. a piece. And then when I was in school, they helped with my tuition, living expenses, books. They gave me computer stipend, and then they also helped me get the opportunity of a lifetime to study abroad right before COVID. So something I never would have done, but super thankful that I got the opportunity to.
Yeah, where did you actually study abroad?
France and Belgium.
France and Belgium. So did you take French in high school?
No, I actually took Spanish.
Why didn't you try to find a Spanish-speaking country?
That's a great question. Luckily, the classes were all in English, but for the program that I wanted. It just happened to be based out of France.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
That's cool. Well, I'm sure that was like you said, an opportunity of a lifetime.
for sure.
So, and then you had mentioned before about your siblings. Will they also be able to take advantage of this, or is it really only like the scholarship is only available to like one child of a fallen patriot?
Yeah, no, it's open to all kids. We want to be able to assist everyone. My little sister just finished up her junior year at Virginia Tech.
Congratulations.
Yes. And then my little brother is only a freshman in high school, but I know when he's of college age, he'll be assisted too, whether he wants to go to college or if he wants to go to a trade school, we'll help with that as well.
That's really cool. That's really nice. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, of course.
So being the fact that you had, of course, not only received the scholarship, but then afterwards, the foundation has also given you other opportunities. Talk a little bit about the fact that how you actually graduated and, of course, are now working for the foundation.
Yeah, when I was a senior in college, I got to attend a Career Symposium in New York City. It was the first time I ever got to meet any more scholarship recipients. I got to meet Cynthia Kim, our co-founder, and I also got to meet my scholarship administrator, which was the best part in my opinion. I talked to this girl for 3 years over the phone and over email, and I felt like she knew so much about me, and I learned so much about her. I knew that she was a former scholarship recipient, but I actually never got to meet her, so I got to meet her in New York City, and that kind of came full circle, and leaving that trip, I knew if I ever had the opportunity to give back, I wanted to.
Yeah, that's really cool. Is that something that they try to do with, you know, recipients that where it makes sense for them to join the foundation? I mean, I'm sure that you have a lot of people that are recipients, so you all can't work for the foundation.
Right. Half of our team is former scholarship recipients, most of them being on our programs team. There are scholarship administrators. They're the ones reaching out to our students and the families, helping them navigate their VA benefits, getting any documentation that they need to make sure that they know what they receive. And they just help them in any way that they can. But they're also great for the students to use because they've all been through it. They've gone to school, they've used their VA benefits, they've been around CFP, so it's nice to be able to share our personal experiences with them.
Yeah, sure. And talking a little bit about your personal experiences, what would you say is kind of the most rewarding like story or being part of the foundation that has kind of like stood out to you as an employee?
I think 3 things come to mind, but in no specific order. One would be that I get to raise funds for my younger siblings. I think that's super full circle for me.
That is cool.
And yeah, I love that. 2 is working with other scholarship administrators and just former scholarship recipients on my exact team as well. We all kind of have a shared experience, obviously, even though they're all so different, but they've become some of my best friends, and we go on trips, and it's just awesome. Even the ones who have left, I still keep in contact with them, and I just know they'll be my friends for life. So
yeah,
I love that aspect. And then one regarding a student would be about 2 years ago. We were at Pepsi headquarters. Pepsi does this campaign for us called Rolling Remembrance, where they pass a flag across the country from veteran driver to veteran driver, raising funds for us along the way.
Yeah, that's actually going on right now, isn't it?
That is, going on right now. It's about to be finished, but if you ever get the chance to see one of the passing off of the flags, they're super cool. Highly recommend.
Yeah.
Every year it ends at Pepsi headquarters in Purchase, New York.
Okay.
The ceremony finished, and a Pepsi intern actually came up to me. He was a Gold Star child. Had never heard of us, and now he's enrolled, and he's one of our scholars, and he's doing great.
Wow.
And I think that's super cool because in that moment, we weren't looking for a student, even though we're always looking for students.
Yeah.
We were just simply saying thanks to Pepsi for supporting us, and it was like 2 birds in 1 stone.
Yeah, that's super cool. Yeah, and that was one of the things that I was wondering about is, you know, when you're talking about, I guess there's 2 questions here that I want to ask. Number one, for people that have lost a family member, you know, a parent, and they're like hesitant about like, okay, like what are the qualifications? What do I have to do? How hard is it? I'm talking from a child's perspective that wants to go to college. What would you do in terms of encouraging that, you know, kid to reach out to the foundation?
Yeah. I think, well, first off, there is no actual application fee. If you are eligible for DEA or FRI benefits, then you're eligible for us. Even if your school is fully covered, I would still say reach out to our team, connect with us. I feel like we are able to provide a lot of experiences and things that other college students don't get. We have an awesome career center that helps with internships, job placements, resume help. They host a career symposium. One every year is in person, and then they normally do a couple virtual ones as well. So there's something for everyone. And for those who are just hesitant to reach out, which I know a lot of families can be, they think that they're taking resources away from another family who needs it more than them. And like I said, we're so much more than just monetary support.
Yeah, because I think on the website I had seen that you guys not only have the network, which you've already talked about, but also the therapy in terms of being able to just have kids that have been in similar situations and being able to offer those kind of opportunities to also network from that standpoint too, not just from a career networking. Am I kind of on point there?
Yeah, 100%. Definitely great resources all around, both in your personal life, but also in your career as well.
Cool. And then the second question I had was for people that are, not of military families, how do you think would be a good way for them to get involved with the Children of Fallen Patriots?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of ways people can get involved. If they ever want to learn more information, they can go to fallenpatriots.org. They can create their own fundraiser like you have. A lot of people do like golf tournaments, or they run races and they choose us as their sponsor, or they come to us like you with their own idea, which is always super fun. We have virtual ones they can create themselves. Let's see, if your employer does company matching, that's always great to check out. Even if you can't give personally, I think just following us on social media, sharing about our mission, trying to help us find other families is always super helpful.
Okay.
There's no central database of Gold Star families, and we don't spend a ton of money on marketing, so we really rely on word of mouth.
Okay.
The reason we don't spend a lot of money on marketing is for every 96 cents of a dollar that we raise, it goes directly to our scholarships.
Yep.
And we're able to do that because we have an extremely generous board who picks up like our overhead and administrative costs, and we're really proud of that.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we are here to provide these scholarships, so that's what we want to continue to do.
Yeah, that's actually something that I want to talk a little bit about. Is the reason why I had chosen the Children of Fallen Patriots Foundation is because of the fact that I had done my research and had looked at Charity Navigator. You guys have a 4-star rating there.
Perfect score. Yep. Very proud of that.
Yeah, and it's not easy for foundations to meet that, but I mean the oversight that you guys have and the audits that you have to, of course, meet to be able to hit that is impressive. So
thank you.
Yeah, kudos to you guys. Is there a message that, I guess I don't know how to frame this, and it's I think something that can be emotional for some, but for a woman, a young woman that has lost her father, her mother in a military accident or a war, if you could speak to that woman, what would you say to her right now in terms of just trying to provide support?
Yeah. I think by doing and just living life is the best way to learn.
Yeah.
I think I learned a great sense of responsibility and resilience, and I think just getting up every day and doing what you're supposed to, you'll make it.
Yeah.
You'll get out for sure.
What about friends that have a friend that has lost a parent? Like, how can they help? Is there anybody that you can think of that stood out in your mind when your father passed away that rallied around you and provided you support? Was there something that stood out to you in terms of a friend that just went above and beyond?
Yeah, I think of 2 friends. Personally, one of my best friends, she was always there for me. She knew my dad really well.
Yeah.
So that was super special. I think just hanging out with them and just being there for them and just listening to their stories. I think a lot of people get uncomfortable when someone wants to talk about it, but really they're just like, oh, I love him so much. Like, I love to talk about him. Like, that's why I love to talk about my dad.
Yeah.
I'm also super fortunate. I played soccer growing up, and I think having my soccer team was like one of the best support systems. My dad used to pick me up from practice, and one of my friends, she could drive at the time, kind of stepped up and would always let me ride with her, and just being there for me all the time was just, I think, a great way to be a friend.
That's cool. That's really cool. So I think we can, wrap up at this point. Is there anything else that you would like to share about your story or about the foundation? We've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah. I think you hit all the wave tops. I can't really think of anything.
Okay. Well, I'm going to throw you a curveball. You already kind of know about this, but I like food, and I'm a kind of a space geek when it comes to like building Legos, and like if you were to see my man cave and office, there's like Legos of space. So my question to you is, if you were chosen to go to Mars, and if you only could have 3 earthly meals before you could go, you couldn't have any of that food, on your flight or when you get to Mars, and the food that is going to be perishing is like, it's not going to even be good when it gets to Mars. So if you have 3 meals, it can be from anywhere in the world. Anybody can make it, but it has to be 3 meals of breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What would those meals be?
So one of each?
One of each.
Okay. I love this question. My friends and I play this game a lot. Breakfast, I would say, in my hometown, there's this restaurant called Bonnie Blue, and they do a chicken and waffle with like a spicy like maple syrup.
Okay.
That would be my breakfast, hands down.
Okay.
My lunch.
Mimosa or no mimosa?
Oh, mimosa.
Okay.
For sure. For lunch, well, I guess if I only get 3 meals, I guess I could do something heavier. How funny would it be if I said like a burger, but like probably like Five Guys or something.
Five Guys?
Yeah, like I feel like it always hits the spot. Like can never not taste good. You know?
Okay. What do you like on your burger? Let's get specific.
I like American cheese.
Oh, we're done. We're done.
And I like love onions. Like I could eat a raw onion, like an apple.
Have you? Okay, so this is segue really quickly. Have you seen that video of the little kid who thinks that he's biting into like a piece of fruit, and he's biting into a raw onion, and he's pouring tears? It's I think the kid was either German or it was definitely like a European country.
Yeah.
But I'll have to find that and send it to you. It's hilarious.
Yeah, you will. That's like the videos of babies when they like give them a lemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are always good.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. For dinner.
No, hold on. So it was just onion and.
Pickles.
Pickles.
I love pickles. Maybe like lettuce.
Okay.
Yeah, and
so a good
and ketchup.
Okay.
I love ketchup.
Okay.
And obviously fries to go along with it.
Yes, gotta have the fries.
Not just only having a burger, especially if it's.
Would you get a milkshake too?
Yeah, if it's one of my 3 meals, you might as well.
Yeah. What kind of milkshake?
So I actually don't like chocolate.
Okay.
But I do like cookies and cream.
So you like chocolate little pieces?
Yeah, but it has to be like frozen, like in ice cream.
Okay.
I feel like if it's like cold, I don't know, you don't taste it. I don't know, but I do like cookies and cream. It's the only chocolate thing that I like though.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, super weird. But,
yeah.
And then for dinner, probably like a seafood boil of some sort with like crab legs, crawfish, shrimp, the corn and potatoes.
Yeah.
And I also have like all the seasonings, like very like Cajun-y, like spicy.
Did you grow up having seafood boils or
no?
Okay.
My mom hates seafood.
Okay.
My dad liked it, so when we would vacation, obviously I'm from like Virginia, so we don't like live on the water, so it's not something that you order there. But whenever we'd go on vacation to like the beach, my dad would always get it. So I knew that I love shrimp and like lobster, but I only had it like once or twice a year when we have vacation. And then I moved actually down here, and that's when I had my first seafood boil, and game changer.
Yes, yeah, and I was actually similar. I had my first seafood boil a couple of weeks ago when I was at the adventure rally here in South Carolina. But yeah, I didn't eat the shrimp because we were outside, and I have a thing with like
everything in the seafood boil anyways. I feel like the shrimp is like the last thing on the list, but really? I do love shrimp. But
but it was good. It was definitely like the Cajun spicing. Yeah, good choices.
Yeah,
all right.
Thank you. What would yours be?
No, I was interviewing you.
All right, fair.
But no, thank you so much for the opportunity, and again for the support. While I was doing the whole fundraising, it was great working with you and the team. But yeah, I forgot one last question.
Yeah,
so
you're good.
Like, what are some of your aspirations moving forward?
That's a great question. Yeah. I love working at Fallen Patriots.
Yeah.
I don't know what I want to do after.
Yeah.
I also don't see myself leaving anytime soon, so I know I have time to figure that out.
Yeah. I'm sure your bosses are ecstatic about that.
Yeah, for sure. But I do plan on going back to school and getting my master's.
Okay.
I'm thinking about getting it in data analytics.
Ooh.
So to be determined still, but that's what I'm thinking about doing.
Very cool. Well, Alexa, thank you so much for your time. And again, thank you for your support. And hopefully our paths will cross again.
Yeah. Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.